Any of us civilians who have had to navigate the healthcare system or other social services knows how frustrating it can be. Now, imagine that you're a newly discharged veteran who has spent years in an environment where all of that is taken care of on base, so to speak. Where do you turn? Echelon Wellness is a new business in Kingston, part of a national chain of clinics exclusively serving military veterans and RCMP. Here to acquaint us with Echelon Wellness are Jennifer Searle, Clinic Director and Nurse Practitioner, and Bruce Frampton, Veteran Ambassador. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah. So Jennifer, I guess the sophomoric place to start is, what is Echelon Wellness and what are you here to do?
So we're a center, obviously exclusively for veterans, to come and have treatments for musculoskeletal conditions or mental health. So we have a number of practitioners on staff to help with these treatments and ongoing care. So.
But you also connect veterans to the existing social safety network and services and Veterans Affairs even.
Yeah, so we do the connection between, they come in, we do an assessment based on their summary of assessment, and we offer services that we have that we can use to treat the conditions that they have. But if they don't have something that's pensioned and it has been an issue for them, we also are able to offer services through the nurse practitioners again in doing pension assessments for whatever the condition is that they're looking for. So we offer that, and then we make referrals to the other practitioners. They don't have to be looking for, okay, I want physio, I want osteopathy, I want this. They don't have to go out and search at all. We can just refer right in within the clinic, and we start booking them right away. So they're really thrilled with that. They're like, right today? We're like, yeah, today we'll start to book you. And then we look after all the paperwork. They don't do any money out of pocket, we do all of that paperwork. And so we handle all of that for them. So it's like they walk in, they get treatment, they walk out. They don't have to worry about all of the headaches of the paperwork and everything that would be attached to that in terms of getting reimbursement or whatever for their
Because that's what they're used to in the services, right? The doctors on base, the physios on base, the counseling and everything is right there.
Correct.
Then you get into civilian life and it's like, oh geez,
yeah, so then you're looking
turn?
for an osteopath, you're looking for a chiropractor, you're looking for this. We have it all, so it's like one-stop shopping. That's
yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's great. And I mean, we do know that there's a considerable problem in this country with homeless vets.
Yes.
And we now have that wonderful Homes for Heroes guys out there doing their thing to get vets back into.
Right.
But better not to let them get there in the first place, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So
we
Bruce,
do have a lot of outreach. Here's our outreach.
there's your outreach. So timing being everything. Bruce, as a veteran, did you make use of Echelon services in the past?
I have and do currently use Echelon. Very much what Jen is saying, that, and like it is in Canada right now for everybody, not just for veterans, and we get that, but we are specifically set up to help veterans in RCMP. The navigational problems that you have as a veteran, and again, like you said, when you're in, and what I lived, when you're in, that's looked after. So I know 6 months from my birthday, I'm in the dental chair because you are told you're getting your checkup 6 months from now from your birthday. You know when you get injured, you have the MIR right there. If you have to be outsourced for treatment, they look after all of it here, and all that you get is an appointment card. When you get out, in my case, 25 years later, where the heck am I turning to? Who's got this? So I got injured during service, and I had to navigate Veterans Affairs. Veterans Affairs Canada, they do great things, and Canadian veterans are blessed to have what's made available to us from Veterans Affairs. However, Veterans Affairs is a bureaucracy. And for the average person that's hurt already, trying to navigate that, personal experience, I was not successful the first 2 times navigating Veterans Affairs. I became successful at it. Once I figured that out, there's still the piece of where do you get the treatment from? I get a phone call about 2 years ago from a man that has a vision that wants to talk to veterans, And he wants to talk to veterans from the East Coast. He wants to talk to some veterans from Central Canada. And he wants to talk to some veterans from the West. Veterans that have helped other veterans navigate or have had injury that have had treatment. His goal is, what can we do, what can I do to help the veterans? What's the primary problems they're having? So the primary problems were finding medical staff to not only diagnose your injury, but to tie it back to service. So in my case today, they're looking after my feet, my plantar fasciitis. Why is that? Well, because for 25 years I wore substandard footwear. Now the government recognized that too. They were very forthright about it. They knew there would be problems. They put a administrative order out on it. I never acted on it. Because as vets, sometimes you just kind of live with discomfort and you kind of think, well, that's what I did. This is a result of that. And it was until now. So I go in, what they do for me. They diagnosed a problem I didn't know I had. I knew there was a problem. I didn't know the name of it. It's called plantar fasciitis. They did the diagnosis. They helped me today fill out my paperwork for treatment and to have an evaluation by Veterans Affairs to say it's worth 5%, 10%, whatever that monies would look like. Where, unlike some businesses out there, and this happens, they will help a veteran submit paperwork to VAC, but they'll take a cut. They'll take 10%, 20%. I've seen a place in Ottawa that takes 30%. 30% of my injury for serving the country? That's unethical. That doesn't happen here.
Right.
And then you get the treatment at the same location. We also have a transportation service set up. So there is, if anybody could push back on this as to something better, I don't know what that looks like, because the ticks are in the box. So 2 years ago, we sit down with Igor, we have the conversation of what his vision is, and on Tuesday, this past Tuesday, we had the grand opening in Kingston, our third location. Absolutely game-changing for a veteran.
And very appropriate to have that in Kingston, being we have a huge military and ex-military community.
Well, the history of Kingston is the military. In
We
fact,
could go
1812.
on. This is a very, but if people are looking for more information about this, the information, the website's up on the
Yes.
screen. They can go, and please do go. If you feel you need these services, go and take a look at it. Is there anything else? The most important question of all, is there anything we haven't touched on that we can touch on that you would want to say in the last 30 seconds or so?
Yeah, they do not need a doctor's referral to come in.
Huge.
They can just come in, and we can, in some cases, they walk in that day and we can start an assessment if we have space in the schedule to see them. But if not, they're booked right away to have an initial assessment, and from that assessment we make all the referrals out. So yeah, they do not need a doctor's referral to get into the clinic.
Very important to
Yeah.
know. Well, thanks for coming in and telling us
Yeah,
about this,
happy
and maybe we'll get you back and go into a little more detail sometime.
Very much appreciate the time today.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.